Peace, good evening, and I'd like to welcome you back into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player, and I wanted to do an NBA basketball video pertaining to my team, the New York Knicks. If I ever do any basketball videos, I will tell you outright that more likely than not, it's going to be a New York Knicks video because I'm a Knicks fan. I barely watch basketball, like besides highlights. If it's, if it's not a Knicks game, I'm not watching, like for the most part. Um, the Knicks suck. I mean, it's been this way since I was in junior high. So I've barely watched basketball except through highlights. Plus, the NBA is kind of whack anyway. But I do like the business of basketball still. I like the business of all sports, and this kind of pertains to that business line, if you will. But this is reporting a rumor that the New York Knicks are interested in acquiring DeAngelo Russell from the Golden State Warriors. There's two packages that have been reported. One which was reported to me by my good friend Stefan from 27 Outs. Make sure you check him out. He has a podcast as well. And what they were first reporting was headlined by Nidalakina and a second round pick and another lower level player. Supposedly, the Warriors are interested in acquiring a couple of unprotected picks from the New York Knicks, in addition to Mitchell Robinson and I believe there was somebody else thrown in there too. But I know they were asking for Mitchell Robinson, who's probably our best player at this time, which is not drawing from many, but he's young, controllable, plays good defense, good height, could move well. Doesn't play good defense. I'm sorry. He could block the ball, but he doesn't play good defense. In addition to unprotected picks, no thanks. I mean, DeAngelo Russell right now is making near max money. He's making 30 million a year, near 30 million a year, probably like 29 per year, for 4 years, which is not a terrible contract. And as far as his talent goes, he's not a bad player. He's actually pretty talented, but I still don't want him, and I'll get to that in a minute. Full disclosure: in the 2015 draft, which was a pretty stacked draft, if you go back and look at it, I know Devin Booker was in that draft. Draymond Green. Who else? Porzingis was in that draft. Willie Cauley-Stein. DeAngelo Russell. Jahlil Okafor was the third player, I believe, that was taken in that draft. But I definitely didn't want Jahlil Okafor. I thought Jahlil Okafor was blocky. I thought he was no good. I thought he moved really bad. I wanted no part to him, and I was terrified that the Knicks were going to take him. Luckily, he ended up getting taken the pick before us, and he went to Philadelphia, if I remember correctly. And we ended up taking the guy that I really wanted to take, which was Porzingis. If I didn't, if we didn't end up with Porzingis, I wanted DeAngelo Russell. I thought he could transition to being a primary point guard. Um, he was more of a tweener guard though. He's always been a tweener guard, and he's a tweener guard now. He's more of like a shooting guard / point guard, not a true point guard. And I don't think he fits in Golden State. When Golden State gets their people back, I don't think he's going to be averaging the numbers he's averaging now, which is about 27 points, almost 7 assists. If they had all their horses in the barn, I don't think they'd be he would be averaging those numbers. And I don't think he would fit with that team one iota. Nor does he fit with this team. We have a lot of people that are tweener shooting guard and small forwards. See Kevin Knox, see RJ Barrett, of which those guys can't shoot much. And DeAngelo Russell to me is not like a he's a shooting threat. But he just doesn't strike me. I don't think he would fit with where I want the Knicks to go as far as getting a true point guard, which we have. There's a variety that could be taken in this year's draft. A lot of good point guards in this draft coming up. And I don't think having a tweener guard like fits in that mix. But the biggest reason that I don't want him is because of his locker room presence. Um, as many of you may know, I'll tell you now, is that DeAngelo Russell secretly recorded his teammate Nick Young, um, kind of talking about cheating on his then girlfriend, Iggy Azalea. Um, I mean, that's one of the lowest things you could do, like as a man. And I mean, like to have somebody confide in you, another man, and then you record it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he didn't intend for that to become public information, but it became public information. And on top of that, I mean, like it became public information because he recorded it. Like, there's no reason to record somebody doing that. What are you gonna? There's no. I highly doubt that he was gonna share that with other men and or teammates of his, like and like have a good chuckle at it. That's just foul, like what he did. And I thought he was a okay player before that when he was in college and when he made it into the NBA. As soon as that came out, I wanted nothing to do with D'Angelo Russell. I barely would want him for free, like, and that's being sincere. I mean, if they made that trade for like a Ntilikina type, which I doubt like the Warriors would take if their demands are so high. I mean, because supposedly the Timberwolves are also interested in bringing him in to pair him up with Carl Anthony Towns. I mean, good luck with that. I think he would fit with the Timberwolves better than way better than he would fit with the Knicks. But I think the price is going to be high, and even Mitchell Robinson straight up for him, I don't want him. I don't want him as a locker room presence. You can't trust a man that does stuff like that, like ever, and that's gonna live in infamy with him. That's gonna go wherever he goes, and he's still pretty young, so he can't go into a room and like say, "Well, that's behind me," and like I've grown a lot older. You're still 23 years old. You did that when you were 19, 20 years old. I mean, like you can't like very hard to live that down like in a locker room of guys that are adulterous at best. You know, probably doing all sorts of freaky stuff like behind the scenes and um when they're not playing games, when they're in other cities. No thanks. I mean, I don't want people to think that they should be walking on eggshells and having that to be the 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 in the locker room like gossiping about, hey, do you know what this guy did, like or hey, be careful, this guy did this to his teammate, let put his recorded his teammate giving his secrets up and then put it out to the world. You don't want all that. I mean, like, maybe some people will be cool with him off the rip, and then they find out about him doing that after the fact, and then like that kind of like just puts a very ugly dynamic on a team, and I don't want that for the Knicks. But this smells of a Knicks trade. I mean, like, and this doesn't smell of a Knicks trade with that little Kina package. No, 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 no. This smells of a Knicks trade, like giving up some picks and Mitchell Robinson, because the Knicks hierarchy are dumb. Um, Mills, terrible. Dolan, terrible. MSG sucks, except for the Rangers. Um, Anything that's coming out of Madison Square Garden right now, I mean, like they've bungled it. I mean, like the Rangers have been kept up because, in respectability, because they've had a linchpin in Lundqvist, and a lot of players want to play for the Rangers. But that allure that the Knicks had like has been decimated. And I mean, you don't want big free agents not to come here even more. I mean, they don't want to come here now, but you don't want to drive the point with having them think that they can't feel relaxed around their peers in their off time or in the locker room. Yeah, so I'm adamantly against it. I mean, if you guys think he's skilled, I agree with you. I mean, I do think he has some sort of skill, but I don't even respect those kind of skills as far as like those that kind of player, like the high scoring point guard, like they're just, it's very tough to build teams like around that especially when bad teams, it's okay. Let's try to do that when you have a level of success and everybody comes to a consensus. But on a team like the Knicks, we're at the halfway point. I mean, like, pretty soon everybody's gonna want to get theirs. That whole distributing, I mean, you'll see it more. I mean, less and less as the year progresses, and that just kills development. And I mean, is he gonna change that? Is he gonna spread the ball around? No, I don't think he is. Like one iota. I'd rather like just tank it and hope that the NBA like blesses us with a good draft pick, which I think they're gonna shade us like they did last year with these good draft picks. But I think that the top of the draft in this year's draft is not much different than the third pick in the draft. Or there's good talent all around. So I mean, like I want to go into this draft with a pretty bad draft pick and no D'Angelo Russell in the New York Knicks locker room. Stay the hell away. Let me know what you guys think. With that, I'm out. Thanks for if you could leave a comment, and I'd love to carry this conversation forward. With that, I'm out. Peace.